Hey guys, before we start the podcast, let me tell you that we are on major platforms now. We're on Apple Podcasts, we're on Spotify, we're on iHeartRadio, and we're also on YouTube. So if you want to support the show, go follow us there. And let's start the show. Hello, and welcome to the Bogart Podcast, episode number 5, coming to you live from Bloomfield, New York. I'm Evan Bogart. I have some emails to read here in a minute, but you can call into the show, 585-678-1660. That's 585-678-1660. And you can email the show at thebogartpodcast@gmail.com. That's thebogartpodcast@gmail.com. So the first email says, "Hey Bogart, just wanted to know why the podcasts are so short. Keep up the good work." Why they're short is because I can only talk about a certain amount of things by myself. If I have a co-host with me, I could, shoot the shit for like hours, but it's just me. I kind of like them being kind of short. Some people, they'll listen to podcasts and they're super ass long and they get bored of it so quickly. So I like how they're short and sweet. People can just listen to them real quick and enjoy it. The next email says, "Yo, is the St. Patty's Day special a video? I was just a little confused when I was listening it to on the podcast." Yes, the St. Patty's Day special is a video podcast on the website. So if you go to thebogartpodcast.com and look underneath special, it'll be right there. It's the whole video podcast that me and the soon-to-be co-host David Parshall did a St. Patty's Day special last St. Patrick's Day. So if you want to see that, just go to thebogartpodcast.com, click the special button, and right there, it's like the first video that shows up is the St. Patty's Day special. And our last email is, "Did you see the new trailer for Clerks 3? What did you think? I think it's going to be Kevin Smith's greatest film yet." I did see it, and I think it's going to be a badass movie. If you are a crazy Kevin Smith fan, you'll see a bunch of Easter eggs in the trailer. It was a really cool trailer. I liked it. I think it's going to be his best movie yet, so hopefully it comes out this fall, and I'm going to see it for sure. So what have I been up to since the last podcast? Went to a Backstreet Boys concert. I didn't want to go to it at first, but then Laura wanted me to go, so I went. Took the dog to the doggy hotel for the weekend, and I'll get back to that because that was fucking crazy. But at the Backstreet Boys concert, we pre-gamed in the parking lot. I brought a cooler full of beer and liquor, and I wanted to get a little bit more drunk than I was, but it was super hot. The sun was beating down on you, and you had to drink water or you were going to pass out. So before the concert, I went to a porta potty and to take a piss because I didn't want to take a piss at the place that we were going to see the concert. The line for the toilet was about a football field long. So I was waiting there forever. went inside the porta potty, and it was so fucking disgusting. Toilet paper everywhere, piss everywhere, poop everywhere. I was like, fuck it, I'll just hold it in if I have to. We got into the concert, and the opening band played, and I didn't even know who it was. Laura didn't know who it was. Laura's friends didn't know who it was. So they got done, and then we waited for about an hour and a half for the Backstreet Boys to come on the stage. And when they got on the stage at like 9 o'clock at night, it was an okay concert. I mean, it's not my type of music, but I mean, it was entertaining. I mean, all the dance move they do, that's fucking crazy. Every song they had a different like dance that they did. So they did about, I want to say like 13 songs, maybe even more than that. And every song they did, they had some kind of dance move. So that's kind of fucking crazy how they have to learn every dance move to each song. I mean, I can't even remember how to spell things, or let alone remember a dance. So my girlfriend Laura had a great time, so that's all that matters. So, and then after the concert, we went back to the car, and everyone wanted to get out as soon as possible, so there was like a traffic jam. So I was like telling everyone, I'm like, why don't we just sit in a chair, drink some beers. I mean, it's going to take forever to get all these cars out, and we'll just wait until all the cars leave, and then we can just get out. So we sat there for about maybe an hour and 15 minutes, just shooting the shit, drinking beers, and all the cars were getting out, and so we left for the night. But a couple days later, we picked up Lucy from the doggy hotel. A whopping $146 for her to stay there. $146. The last time we took her there, it was only 2 nights, I think, and it was $86. Now, some of the things that we added on to her stay is that it costs extra to take her for a walk. I signed up for her to take a walk every day that she stayed at the doggy hotel. And then I needed to get her nails clipped. And then when I looked at the bill, nail clipping, $15 fucking dollars. $15 fucking dollars. Yep. And then additional, I think it was like $13 for, they call it the carpet walk, because I don't know why. That was another, I think, $30 there. And then her stay was 3 nights stay. I don't remember, but yeah, it was ridiculous. I was pretty pissed that it was that much, but because the last time we took her there, it was only $86. That was that. So the other day I saw my dream house. We were coming home from the dog park in Rochester, and we were driving through the Victor area. Now, Victor, New York is known for being very wealthy. A lot of high income families live there, and there was a mansion that I saw on the way home, and I was like, man, that's a pretty big house. I wonder if it's for sale. So I did some research, and the house was for sale. So I'll pull it up. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can see the picture of the mansion. But yeah, this thing is fucking crazy. It has 6 bedrooms, 4.5 baths. It is 7,642 square feet, and it only has 1.1 acres because I think it's on a golf course. But man, this thing is pretty fucking cool. the inside of it, the only problem with big houses like this is that you have to get furniture for it. And it probably costs you another $100,000 to furniture this place. But I mean, if I won the lottery, I would definitely would buy this place. Maybe I would ask the realtor if I can just buy all the furniture that comes with it. Just pay an extra 100,000. The only thing I don't think it has is a pool. I don't think. Yeah, I'm looking through all the pictures right now, and I do not think it has a pool. That's the only big bummer thing about it. But I guess you could always build a pool. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'll show you all the pictures of what it looks like inside or not. So I got an email from the trailer park I live at, and it talks about how we can't have fire pits and we can't shoot off fireworks in the park. But at the bottom of the letter, it said we can have propane fire pits. So I was like, damn, all right, I'm going to get a propane fire pit. So we went to Lowe's and I ordered everything online so I could just curbside pick up and they could just throw it in my car real quick. The guy brings out everything. I ordered a fire pit, a propane fire pit, a propane tank, and an extension cord because I ran over my other extension cord with a lawnmower and fucked that up. So the kid brings it out. I picked up the propane tank and I'm like, damn, this thing's really light. And the kid's like, oh yeah, you just ordered the tank. You didn't order the propane to go in the tank. And I'm like, they do that? They sell empty tanks of propane? So I was like, okay, whatever. I mean, and then my girlfriend Laura was like, we'll just go fill it up at Tractor Supply. Filled it up and we tested it out that night and it was awesome. I loved that fire pit. And then the next day, we had a get together with some of Laura's family and friends. I was coming back from the gas station and there was smoke everywhere in the park. And you could see that these people were having fire pits with wood. So I'm like, these people are going to get kicked the fuck out of the park because you're not supposed to have wood fire pits. I was like, well, they're going to get evicted. And the other thing, too, was that they were shooting off fireworks on the 4th of July. So, and that's another thing you can't do in the park is shoot off fireworks. But most likely, no one will get in trouble. They'll just give them a slap on the wrist and tell them not to do it. So, a couple of months ago, I did some blood work for my primary doctor, and my platelets, I don't even know how to say it, so basically it's just blood count, I think, was low. So my doctor's like, well, I want you to go to this one specialist. It's the blood doctor. They will look at your blood and see what's going on. So I was like, okay, and so I get the letter in the mail for the blood doctor before I set up the appointment for them. The blood doctor works from the cancer center of the hospital that they're located in. So I was like, oh shit. And I'm like freaking out because I thought maybe my primary doctor thought I had some kind of form of cancer. So I went there. I go to the blood doctor appointment. I sign in and everything. And then the nurse brings me back, checks my blood pressure, my pulse, my blood oxygen level. And she's like, okay, well, the doctor will be right in. So I'm going to say doctor number 1 comes in. And she's like, well, do you know why you're here? And I said, yeah, I think my primary doctor thought I had some kind of problem with my platelets, and she's talking very slow, like she's about to say something so fucked up, like I have some kind of fucking cancer or something like that. So she's like, oh, well, your primary doctor thought that the blood count was low, so we're just going to take some blood and test it and see where it's at. So, and she's like, well, I want to have my other doctor come in and talk to you even more. I'm like, great. Now the second doctor is going to do the 1-2 punch to the gut and tell me that something is wrong. But the second doctor pretty much said what the first doctor said. And so I got my blood work done there before I left, and my platelets was normal. So I think I know why the platelets were low. I have bad hemorrhoids, like really bad hemorrhoids. And sometimes those hemorrhoids can bust when I'm taking a shit. And it is really a bloody mess. And I really can't go to the emergency room because they're just going to tell me to take it easy, don't sit down, and take some over-the-counter hemorrhoid cream or suppository. I think during the time that I did get my blood work done, I was having hemorrhoid problems, and my ass was bleeding a little bit, and probably made my platelets low a little bit. So, but yeah, that was the trip to the blood doctor. So I was petting my dog the other day, and I noticed something on her right front leg, and it looks like a skin tag or a wart. And I'm like, oh my God, I never noticed that on her before, and I was just like, damn. So I was thinking to myself, I mean, if it's just a skin tag or a wart, it can last until her wellness check that was at the end of this month. So I was like, how can I show the doctor this pink little spot on her leg without taking her in and spending $100 on just vet fees and shit like that? So I was like, I wonder if they have an email. So I looked up my veterinarian's email, found it, and I'm like, fuck yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send a picture of it, and I'm going to just tell in a brief little email that there's a pink spot on my dog's front right leg. I waited for a little bit. I sent it and waited for a little bit, and they got right back to me. And they're like, oh, this is just a skin tag or a wart. I don't think it's going to be anything that big. We can take a look at it at their wellness check. I'm like, fuck yeah. I just saved $120 because it would have cost me that much just to bring her in. And then they're just telling me what they told me over the email. So I saved about $100. I think that's cool. So if you have a dog or a cat or any kind of animal and you're not really sure what to do, just email them. It saves you $120, so that's for sure. Well, that's going to be it for this edition of the Bogart Podcast, episode number 5. Call in the show, 585-678-1660. That's 585-678-1660. Email the show at thebogartpodcast@gmail.com. I will see you guys next week. Take it easy.